How can they ever hope to survive? How evil can we get? Yet they still come. Brave, hardy, fearless, fighting machines!
Activate.
Let the wars begin!
Welcome to Heat Isle of Robot Wars, we're confident!
Blade goes that fast, it just looks like it's stopped. So you'll have to watch out for that one.
And Kidology are spun like a politician's promises! And we'll promise you mayhem!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Master of Mayhem, Craig Charles.
Welcome to Robot Wars, the 7th Wars. Our mission, to boldly seek out a new UK champion. To boldly bash where no robot has fought before. All right, so our war zone's hardly undiscovered, but only the bravest robots dare enter. And even fewer come out alive. Tonight, 8 more robots are in the pits, including old favourites Behemoth. So, let the wars begin.
Lots of experienced machines here, only 2 newcomers to the UK Championship. Rip 'em, tear 'em up and spit 'em out. Warzone lawlessness, where he who flips last flips proudest. As Craig says, Behemoth is back and seeded, but the Warzone could yet be full of surprises.
From Southminster in Essex, Demolition Man.
Knocked out in the first round of the last Wars.
Right, you've been in the wars before?
Yep.
How far?
About this far.
So you made it to the bench?
Made it to the bench, just got into the arena, got knocked straight out.
What have you done to Demolition Man?
Well, we completely rebuilt it. New robot now. What we've actually got is 600mm spinning disc, 2000 RPM, roughly about 63 hits per second. Tested it to destruction, and we're pretty confident this time.
As an 11-kilo, fully exposed spinning disc sitting on a variable angle bed, snow plough to 1M4 motor, 4-wheel drive, polished 6mm aluminium, but it's slow to self-right.
From Selkirk in Scotland, Corkscrew 2.
Reached its heat final in the 5th Wars.
Now, we don't often get smart people. Very, very smart. Look at you. Aren't you worried about those costumes?
No, of course not. We have to make the effort.
Now, tell me a little bit about your machine. We have seen you in previous wars.
Yes, this is our 3rd reincarnation. It's this Corkscrew 2, new machine, brand new for this wars. Hopefully we're going to do well. The blade goes that fast, it just looks like it's stopped. So you'll have to watch out for that one.
Yeah, has the outer 1000 RPM body spinner blade, 4-wheel driven, invertible, very quick at 20 miles an hour, but it's difficult to control.
From Ellistown in Leicestershire, Judge Shred 3.
Fighting in their 4th Wars, never out of the heat.
Tell us what you've done to Judge Shred 3.
A lot more armour, new motors, speed controllers. We've made the flipper so it self-rights, which helps.
That's good.
And it's a lot more power in the flipper. But the main thing is running it all year and getting the weak points out.
Dome-shaped with the high-power 1000 PSI flipper 3 mech, aluminium and steel body, speed, manoeuvrability, but questionable reliability still.
From Stoke-on-Trent in Staffordshire, Mute.
Runners-up in the New Blood competition in Robot Wars.
So Mute is a pretty good robot then if you got down to the final in Extreme.
We're unknown and we've still got a very robust design that can actually take a lot of knocks. Spinners, maybe we need a few more tests and battles against them. And we've basically got more armour, more power and more gas, so a lot stronger this year.
Tests? It's too late for that. A wedge-shaped robot with front and rear full-pressure high-velocity CO2 flippers, extreme composite armour and 4 kilos of CO2 on board.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the team. Stephen Thomas, captain's Demolition Man on the left-hand side. The Heatley family with Corkscrew 2 on the right. The Blakeman family of Judge Shred on the left-hand side, and the Emmett family of Mute on the right, with Jeremy Honcox in there as well. There's Dead Metal for the House Robots in the arena. There's Shunt 2.
3, 2, 1. Activate.
Now, from previous experience, look out for Judge Shred 3. Demolition Man gets a right old hammer early on from Mute. Mute did so well in the New Blood competition, finishing as runners-up. Interesting to see the new variable angled spinning disc on the back of Demolition Man. Haven't seen it yet, it's in trouble. Mute centre of the arena there. Corkscrew 2, well, that blade is moving so fast it does seem to be stopped. It isn't spinning, is it? Oh, maybe. No, I don't think so. Bashing and crashing off the arena sidewalls. The arrow's pointing one way, it's moving the other. Little flip there from Judge Shred 3. Good manoeuvrability by the judges. Alan Blakeman, the captain. Paul and Michael in there with him. Now Corkscrew 2 tries to get up a little bit ahead of steam and rolled over onto its side. It's okay, down and being flipped up in the air again. 90 kilos in weight, Corkscrew 2. Can get up to 20 miles an hour. There we can see the back of the Corkscrew 2 team. John Heatley in there with young Lewis and Lawrence. Oh, and over goes the Demolition Man. Can they self-right from there? We mentioned before they were slow to self-right. That'll leave them exposed. And John Heatley celebrating with Corkscrew 2 because the Demolition Man might have crumbled here. In goes Mute. They're being counted out. Slamming into Corkscrew 2 goes Judge Shred 2 and Corkscrew out. So both have gone. Demolition Man counted out. Corkscrew 2 lifted out. Good drive here by Judge Shred. Got in underneath. And there, the scales of justice weighed heavily against Corkscrew 2. Well, these two robots are through to round 2 of the heat. We know Demolition Man, they've gone. The Judge Shred 3 and Mute need to stay out of trouble, while the House Robots decide what to do with the debris. Demolition Man, you want to stay out of trouble now, Mute. I know you're a little bit inexperienced in that arena, but don't go shoving our House Robots around. Judge Shred, oh, and Dead Metal trying to get rid of Demolition Man, and eventually down in the pit. Again, they've gone early. Hard hats and all.
What a battle, what a battle. It is dangerous in the war zone, but Mute and Judge Shred, they go marching on. Join me after the break when Behemoth, the 10th seed, are in battle. We'll see you then.
After the break, our second round 1 battle. Behemoth bulldozing its way into another series. But I wonder if its challenge will be nipped in the bud. Welcome back, already through to the second round of Heat L. Judge Shred and Mute as Corkscrew 2 were bottled up and binned and Demolition Man totally destroyed.
Welcome back to Robot Wars, where we're about to throw another 4 robots into the war zone. Only 2 will come out alive.
From Romand in the Netherlands, Tartarus.
Saucy, fought once in the Dutch Wars, beaten once.
Okay, this robot is Tartarus. What does it do?
Actually, we don't know yet. The person that built it is actually a top secret agent, and he is gone right now on a secret mission. So when he comes back, we hope we did good with this. So
Why don't you know what your robot does?
it's not our robot.
Why
He's
are you
gone.
standing here in those t-shirts then?
Well, he tried to fight, but he had to go. So he asked us, please take my robot and just play with it.
That's all. That Dutch sense of humour. Part bird, part dragon, part frog, but most of all robot, hydraulic weaponry, a claw, no self-righting mechanism. And the speed isn't enormous either.
From Altrincham in Cheshire, Crustacean.
They're already through to the world final and fighting in their third UK wars.
Now, this robot is designed magnificently. It's so clever. Tell us how the pincers are shut.
Okay, Dominic has these special gloves which he uses with his hands. So when he closes his hands, the claws close. When he opens them, they open. So it's very intuitive.
Well, have a good one, Dominic. Just give us a little show what you do. There he goes. Brilliant. That's fantastic.
Krusty, give us a wave. 2 large claws on this aluminium crab, electric power, 36 volt, indestructible, they say, manoeuvrable, but a 4 centimetre ground clearance. Crab sandwich, anyone?
From Hemel Hempstead in Hertfordshire and number 10 seed, Behemoth.
Fighting in their 6th wars, the number 10 seed.
You are the number 10 seed. Have you done any modifications to the robot this year?
Well, since the last wars, we've completely stripped the robot down, rebuilt everything, and fixed any minor faults we had. So we've replaced the link, we've upgraded all the fittings in there. Stuff's not held in with gaffer tape anymore, so it hopefully won't fall out.
Tell me what exactly your weapons are.
Well, on the front here, we've got this lifter, which can pick up over 300 kilos very quickly. We've also coupled it with this axe, which comes over the top, and we can grab onto the opponents, damage them, and lift them up at the same time, so we can get them to the edge of the arena and out.
A 6-wheeled robot with a large flipping scoop and axe has never been beaten in 6 first-round battles, but then has found the pit too often.
From the Vale of Glamorgan in Wales, UFO.
Beaten in its first ever fight in the last wars, the UFO has landed again, though.
What does UFO do?
UFO is a flipper.
He's a flipper!
Yes.
He's a flipper, and how powerful is that flipper?
It's never actually worked in competition before, so what happens is anybody goes.
You know how tough it is out there?
Yeah.
And you don't know what your robot does?
Well.
Yeah, exactly. Now who looks silly? You!
Flipping useless then. 2-wheeled, still largely untried. I don't really believe in UFOs, do you? The teams then, Crustacean and the Visser family there on the left, Tartarus on the right, UFO on the left-hand side, Behemoth on the right. In the arena for the house robots, we have Shunt, we have Dead Metal. And we're ready to rock and roll.
2, 1. Activate.
Behemoth, strong, heavy, already slamming into Tartarus, surely here just for show. The secret agent story, tut tut. Crustacean, you know, they're a worthy machine. UFO, if it had a flippability factor, would have used a flipper there. It's low pressure, and as you heard from Mark and Belinda Hamilton beforehand, I don't think it's working. Crustacean tossed, that's okay, it's invertible. Can run both ways up, in other words. You see UFO in underneath, but they can't flip. They've come into the war zone, UFO, without a weapon. Behemoth looking on with Anthony Pritchard and Kane Aston. The danger for Crustacean is if it gets pushed out of the arena, but it's away and scuttling across the arena floor. The ref spotting your picture there. Behemoth has sensed the main danger to it here will come from Crustacean and is taking on Crustacean at will. And at the moment, we can't see any use in those claws. Young Dominic has the special gizmo gloves on with no effect. UFO driving in. Well, they do have a weapon of sorts, I guess, and that is in their wedge shape, and already Tartarus prepared to be counted out. And Crustacean, now the claws, just a little bit of movement as Shunt comes in, and the countdown to oblivion for Tartarus. Well, they were hardly flying, Dutchman, and they're about to leave Robot Wars. Martin Scholten and Brian Kattler, and out they go. Part dragon, part frog. Well, it didn't give us a dragonfly nor a frog hop, but Crustacean did. They've hopped out. Now for me, that is a shot because it means UFO will go through with Behemoth. We know already Tartarus have long gone, but I didn't expect UFO to survive, and they have used that wedge-shaped design well when you consider the flipper isn't really working. Nothing on Tartarus work, by the way. Hardly anything. UFO, I tell you what, could go on here and cause a surprise as this heat unfolds. They don't want to get caught side on by a machine like Behemoth. Ceases call, both go through, of course. And I wonder if that bash has done UFO's electronics any good.
The Behemoth boys are back and they're angry. They go through along with UFO.
Phew, it's as hot as hell in here. Heat hell. Behemoth and UFO through to round 2, and this is how they'll line up. Behemoth will face Mute, UFO will face the judges, and Craig, you got news of us of another competition.
At the end of the series, we're going to be holding the World Championships, but some countries haven't yet decided who's going to represent them. So, tonight, for our special event, fighting for the right to fight for Germany, hey, it's the German invasion!
From Adenval in Germany, Ansgar 3.
Fought in the German wars, lost its only battle.
This is Johann and Sasha. They are both from Germany. Now, this is for a place in the World Championship you're fighting for.
Yeah, we are fighting for the place in the World Championship, and we built a walker. That means our robot is double as heavy as the other rods, and we think with this provide we can win.
What's your weapon?
It's a spinner.
It's a spinner, and it looks like there's some sort of blade on there as well.
Yeah, it's a great blade, and it's about 10 kilos, and we think we can destroy the other robots with it.
A 16-legged walker, 200 kilos in allowable weight, has the spinner, 12 horsepower driven, rather cumbersome though.
From Essen in Germany, iBot 1 Beta.
Ein Spy Dry could be gone in a blink of an eye.
We're with Björn, Tjörn and Kai. This is for a place in the World Qualifiers, lads.
Yeah.
How are you feeling right now?
We are not. I'm quite nervous, Babas as well, but we think we can make it, and we are looking forward to it.
2 spinning discs, 2,500 watt power, 2 drive system motors at 1,500 watts, well armoured, can drive both sides up, but has little experience.
From Bruckberg in Germany, Reaper NP2.
Will it prove the Grim Reaper?
Right, what does your robot do?
It's got a cymbal lifter on the front, which I can also use as a crusher to hold the robot. So I got an advantage. The one can't drive on its back at all. I can flip him over, and the other one I think I can set on its side.
That does not sound like a German accent to me.
No, it's not. It's an American accent.
And how come you're going to be representing Germany if you go through?
Because I live in Germany, so...
Getcha, I see the connection there.
Part wedge form robot, invertible, has large tyres, plenty of traction, can lift up to 150 kilos. Thin armour though, and the weaponry is slow.
Roboteers, stand by.
Let's have a look at the teams then. Ansgar 3, Joachim and Sasha there on the left, Reaper on the right-hand side, Brian Cutler and Martin Scholten. iBot 1 Beta all alone with the students Bjorn and Kai at the controls. In the arena for the house robot, Shunt. And there's Matilda as well, the old matriarch of mayhem, still with a blink in her eyes. Ah, I love her.
3, 2, 1.
So, watch out here, I think, for Reaper. First to show on Ansgar, but then you've got that Ansgar flailing blade. Low centre of gravity, 0 ground clearance. Whoa, and it slammed Reaper into submission, I think. I think Reaper has been stopped stone cold in the water. iBot 1 Beta is still fighting, but you've just seen the Reaper team and Brian Cutler. I've got to admit, I fancied Reaper. I thought it had a stealth-like shape. But the first slam of Ansgar's powerful weaponry left it absolutely stunned and about to be counted out. And the pathway to the World Championships blocked for Reaper. It was grim in the end, and I'm not talking about a grim fairy tale ending. Ansgar's weaponry, watch out for that in Robot Wars. Reaper has gone. Shunt comes in with a bulldozer blade to push. And now we'll see the Reaper fly. Well, hopefully. Yes! Belatedly. And that stealth-like shape I was talking about looks rather crumpled and battered and torn. And another penetrating punch by Shunt's axe. Thrown through the air. Now, who will go through to the World Championships? Ansgar or Ibot 1 Beta on the edge of the pit, needs to get away. Haven't seen great use of the weaponry. It is teetering. It is gone. And Ansgar 3, as Reaper ends up in the pit as well.
Cease.
Ansgar 3, worthy World Championship competitors after qualifying.
Total mayhem in the arena. Vorsprung der Technik, as they say in Germany. Ansgar through to the World Championships. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're through to the World Championships. What's the standard of roboteering in Germany like?
Oh, we have good robots. You may see here Tsunami in the earlier fights, and it's not the best drum, but it's one of the best.
Yeah. Your robot, it's a walker.
Yeah, it's a walker. It's a 200 kilo walker.
Yeah, and so that means it can be heavier than the other robots, which gives you a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, it can double as heavy as the other robots. That means 200 kilo maximum.
How does it work?
It makes about 15,000 steps in a minute.
15,000 steps a minute?
Yeah, and it works about 16 mph.
So it's in a bit of a hurry then?
It's a walker, it's a runner, not a walker.
Well, good luck in the World Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Ansgar 3! Join me after the break when we get back to the serious business of the 7th Wars. See you then.
Coming up, our round 2 battles. Behemoth, our number 10 seeds. Mind you, Mute will have something to say about it, I guess. And then Judge Shred 2 against the unidentified flying object. If you've just joined us, our last first round battle saw Behemoth and UFO through, Tartarus battered, and Crustacean tossed out.
Welcome back to Robot Wars. And after a blistering round 1, we're left with 4 ferocious fighting machines. I hope they're going to be happy going head to head.
Craig, this is how they line up. UFO against Judge Shred 3 in a minute. First, though, Mute against the seeded boys of Behemoth.
I've got to say, in round 1, I was so impressed. It looked absolutely astonishing out there.
Yes.
Do you think you're going to beat Mute?
I'm not going to say anything. Things happen always round 2 for the last 2 wars. We've always found the pit, so I'm not going to say anything.
Do you have tactics?
We've got to talk about that so far, but there are flipper bots, so it's going to be a bit of jumping around in there.
Yeah, it's going to be very manic in there. We self-right, they self-right, so it's going to be very manic, that's for sure.
Do you have tactics for this next round?
No, straight at them, best way.
You are fighting Behemoth. They're a pretty good machine.
Yes.
They are the 10th seed.
Yep. The scoop's probably lower than us at the front, but if we can get sides or behind, no problem.
Because they've got a scoop and they've got an axe.
Axe, nothing. Don't touch it.
Really?
You don't want to see where Shunt hit us at the front?
Let's have a look where Shunt hit you at the front. Show it off. I'll show it on damage cam.
Scratch the paint.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
That's shite. Their axe, nothing.
That is absolutely rubbish.
Mute.
So they think Shunt's axe is rubbish. We will have our revenge. Adam Emmett in the middle driving.
Behemoth.
Slower, steadier, stronger perhaps. Anthony Pritchard and Kane Aston, very experienced.
Roboteers, stand by.
Yellow and black warning stripes on Behemoth. The warning sounded out to the house robots like Matilda. And in the arena with her, oh, good to see Mr. Psycho for the first time. Seems in good form, doesn't he? But there's dirt under those fingernails, I think.
3.
You tell him.
2. 1. Activate.
So, how they cut this for a place in the heat final. Behemoth turning, Mute dashing and dapper, the quicker of the two. The lighter of the two, you won't be surprised to hear that. Only 4 kilos in it, mind you. Behemoth with a scoop, and Mute flipping itself right up in the air and over. It wasn't Behemoth that did this, it was Mute's own flipper. Hopped right up over Behemoth. Remember I said it has 4 kilos of CO2 on board, but it could use it up if it continues flipping like that. And look at Behemoth! They're stuck on the arena sidewall, and they need to get out of here. The number 10 seats very, very quickly. Is that panic? It's certainly agitation. A jittery display by Behemoth? Surely not. They were favourites here, and they cannot get it out. They can now. And what have they done? Stuck in forward gear. They lifted themselves free of the arena wall, the bottom of the wall, and got themselves wedged on top. Behemoth in real trouble here. Oh, and it gets worse. Oh, and again, they need to get out quickly. Oh, they have done, but slam straight into Mr. Psycho because they're stuck in forward gear. They're not going to try and lift him up. No, 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 no. That is a little bit silly. There they go. Forward gear. Forward gear. Come on, this way. Over here. Another wall over here. Yeah, thank you. Oh, poor old Behemoth. Well, they managed to avoid the pit, but they've slammed into just about everything else there is in the arena. And I think control is gone. That's the power of Matilda's spinning flywheel tail, by the way. You see, they bulldozed their way into another sidewall, and they can't get out, can they? There's no reverse. Look at it. It'll need to be confirmed by Craig when he talks to them afterwards. But I think you'll find that stuck in forward gear. What can they do? All the experience there of 5 previous Robot Wars campaigns. And they're going to be counted down. Semi-finalists way back in the second Wars. They've grown up with Robot Wars, and well done to them for coming back again and again and again.
Cease.
Driving forward, but driving themselves out.
Well, Behemoth go berserk, completely out of control. They're counted out. Mute go through to the heat final.
What do you say?
I don't know. Second round again, isn't it?
And what happened?
I've got no idea. Someone saw it over the top of us and it just locked into fast forward.
They nearly went out, but some magical trick over the top of us, they've locked up the drive into full forward. So for 2-3 minutes there until we had the link pulled out, it's just going around the arena. We had control of the bucket for some reason, but that's the only way we managed to turn it around using the bucket and go back and forth across the arena. But fortunately, it stopped in a safe position. So.
You're just ping-ponging backwards and forwards after that, weren't you?
Yes, it said no control.
Because I thought you were stuck on the arena floor, but you weren't. You were just going forward all the time. You couldn't stop it going forward.
Locked in forward, fast forward, 12 mile an hour, full whack,
Bit of smoke off the tyres.
Bit of smoke off the tyres.
Yeah.
How long have you been competing in Robot Wars?
Too long now, I think.
And you've never had the best of luck, have you?
No, there's always something gone wrong. It's, you know, this year it was looking beautiful.
Seed, I thought
yes.
it could be your year. The bucket's working great. It's a lovely looking robot, yours as well.
It's working fine, but obviously some weird, strange things happen.
It's not working that well now, is it?
No, it's just lots into forward.
You're great competitors. We always love having you. I just wish you'd have a little bit of luck one time.
Yeah, so would we.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Behemoth. You were a bit lucky. They had a great
They certainly are.
And something seriously went wrong there, because that was going to be a right ding-dong, I thought.
Yeah. We're very lucky, I think.
OK, it's either Judge Shred or UFO in the final. Who would you want and who would you want to avoid?
We'll take UFO if we can.
Take UFO. What's wrong with Judge Shred? What scares?
We've already met Judge Shred once, so we know what they're like. So try a new robot. It's the best way.
Right. Hey.
Send the UFO into orbit.
Who writes your lines? It's nice to see you feeling confident, though, lads. It's mute. Don't say a word.
Behemoth are out. That was a pretty dramatic ending to their career in the 7th Wars. What happened, Derek?
Well, I think the other robot, as it went over there, shorted something out in their system, and it just went into fast forward and stayed there. But then we couldn't get the link out, but we managed it in the end with a crowbar, so it's safe, it's out. It's virtually undamaged other than a little bit of electronics, but they're gone.
Yeah, there's confirmation, Derek. Behemoth gone, mute through to the Heat L final to face either UFO or Judge Shred 3.
This is round 2. This is the next bout for a part in the Heat final. How are we feeling?
Surprisingly all right, actually.
Now, I noticed in round 1 your flipper just was not working. What happened?
Some of the pneumatic fittings blew off. It happens. It's tested. It shouldn't happen now.
Shouldn't happen now. It better not happen now, because you're up against Judge Shred 3 and they have got one powerful flipper.
Yeah. We're not worried about that.
How are we feeling, lads?
Fantastic.
Are you not getting the tension yet?
No, we'll wait till we get in the arena, then the tension will come up.
Is there any little chant you do before going on? A little prayer you say?
No, we just shake a lot generally.
See, I told you you get nervous. You're all pretending you're not.
We all get nervous, yeah. Even after 4 or 5 robot wars, you still get nervous.
Judge Shred 3
has all the experience, doesn't it? My lad. Alan, Paul and Michael, your honours.
UFO.
The flipper working. Was Mark Hamilton telling the truth? Oh, yes, he was. Look, there's Mark and Belinda.
Roboteers, stand by.
So who should we put in against them then from the house robots? Let's have a think. Yeah, Mr. Psycho, I think. He'll do. And Sergeant Bash. Leave him hot under the collar, eh?
3, 2, 1.
Well, I'm surprised UFO has got this far. Anything can happen, and the way to the series semi-final is now wide open because the seeded Behemoth are no more. This is tentative stuff. When I say tentative, it's boring! Get in there! Flip! Toss them out! Chuck them out! Bash and crash! Maybe it's nerves. Judge Shred 3 flipped UFO over. Thank goodness the flipper is working. Concentration on the face of Mark Hamilton. Well, they'll need to concentrate now because Judge Shred 3 has got them in on the arena sidewall. Oh, came in for the drive, and that would have been curtains for the UFO. They'd have been in outer space again, quite literally. Judge Shred 3 now has to worry because UFO is in underneath their ground clearance. Only 10 millimeters, but nonetheless, it has been exposed by the UFO. An alien force in the war zone this time around. Backing on to Judge Shred 3. This is a very tight and tense second round fight. Mirrored on their faces, the tension. Judge Shred, has it now got on top? As it leaves UFO on the side, because I don't think they can self-right from there. And if Judge Shred 3 stays away and out of the picture, it'll avoid any unnecessary nudge on UFO to bring them back down and back into play. Not going to happen, is it? Well, that was a good display by UFO. I look forward to seeing them again in another Robot Wars, because they were worthy competitors. But it's Judge Shred 3 going through to the heat final as UFO are counted out. The pit descends. A little pirouette of victory for the judges. And out comes Psycho. What are they saying there, do you think? Oh, good, look, Psycho's come out to play. Or, oh, what a high day and a heyday we're having. Or, feeling a bit chilly, let's warm ourselves up. Whatever they were saying, they'll be groaning now. UFO. Well, there's a time to use your weaponry. Nearly crunched into our camera there. Psycho, hardly steady on the old pins these days. And the pit yawns. And the UFO is dumped into a security zone. Do not come out again. That was the warning from Psycho, quite clearly.
Well, the aliens have landed. Unfortunately, they landed in the pit of oblivion. Judge Shred get the verdict. They're through to the heat final. You're very unlucky.
What?
Your self-righter was working perfectly.
We've never done that before. That was brilliant. We've never tried that, and it worked.
It worked really smoothly.
Yeah, happy with that.
You can't self-right when you're on your side.
No, a few modifications. We'll sort that out.
What if you just rounded the edges?
We tried that, but not enough.
I mean, they just left you there then. They didn't want to play then.
No,
put you on your side.
no.
They could have easily knocked you over, tried to get stuck in, but they didn't. They left you there to suffer.
Yeah, because they're scared.
It was quite cowardly, really, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Because you think they'd knock you back onto your wheels so you could have a good Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
But no, they didn't want that, did they? No, they had their eyes on the heat final. They think they can go all the way now.
We'll see.
So how are you going to improve that robot for next time then?
We have a few ideas up our sleeves.
Any you can share with us now?
Well, stop it standing on its side. That's the main one.
That would be a big step forward. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Team UFO. You guys, you've finally done it, really.
Yeah.
First time in the heat final, isn't it?
It is. After 5 years or something.
I was right about you just leaving them there then. You didn't want to get involved.
We had interference, we didn't want to risk it.
You really wanted the ref to come in and count them out.
Definitely.
Well, good luck, guys, against Mute in the heat final. You're a lovely robot and you're great competitors. Let's hear it, Judge Shred! Well, join me after the break when Judge Shred take on Mute in what promises to be a right ding-dong of a heat final.
Craig, you promised me you'd only wear that in private. And to come, the Battle of the Flippers. Mute, crazy. Judge Shed 3, ominous. Should be a terrific heat final. Welcome back. The big surprise so far, the seeded Behemoth out as Mute jumped like a jackrabbit and Behemoth went as mad as a March hare.
Welcome back to Robot Wars. 8 robots entered the war zone and 6 have been sent packing. And what a fight to end on. Oh yes, finals don't get much better than this.
Confirmation, Mute against Judge Shred 3. The winners will go through to the series semi-finals.
Are you worried?
Not at all.
You're not worried at all. Your opponent is there.
I fought them before.
You fought them before. Who came off better?
We fought them twice before. We won one and they won one.
Oh,
It's closely matched.
It's a closely matched battle. What are your tactics going to be? Because they are a flipper too.
We've just got to keep flipping each other and wait till one breaks down, I think.
Who's the most powerful robot?
They've got more push behind them. We've got a more powerful flipper.
Mute boys, you seem to have bits all over.
Yes, we've done a full strip down and we've tested our weapons and we've got the batteries ready and warmed up, ready to put straight back in for our heat final.
Are you excited?
Oh yes.
You're going to take them?
We're going to give it our best shot and that's usually good enough.
Now, they said they'd fought you before twice and you won once and they won once. Evenly matched, would you say?
Yeah, we are. It's pretty close. So, well, we're both flippers. So just whoever's got the most gas.
Neither of these robots is going out without a serious fight. This, get ready, it's the heat final!
Mute.
Absolutely flipping fantastic from what we've seen so far, but a little bit crazy too. There's Adam in the middle who will be driving.
Judge Shred 3.
The more experienced of the two machines, Alan, Paul, and Michael Blakeman.
Roboteers, stand by.
In the arena for the house robots, we have Shunt and Sir Killalot 2.
3, 2, 1.
Though they may have fought before, sparred in practice and training, they've not met head-to-head really in our war zone. They fought together in the first round tonight and came through that first round together. Mute driving on against Judge Shred. Mute is the lighter by 4 kilos. It's also the nippier by 3 miles an hour. And the crazier too. How high do they need to jump when they self-ride? Is it necessary to do the old balletic pirouette? And how much CO2 have they just used up? Judge Shred is chasing them down. And certainly the eyes of the law have Mute in their sights. Mute, loud and proud. What is going on out there? They're jumping around like a little flea. Mute. Oh, brilliant. Oh dear. That's gymnastic. That was balletic. Oh, this time he's flipped Judge Shred 3. It was a meaningful flip by Mute. I would have had Judge Shred as the favourites here. As Killalot goes in and activates the pit release. Mute, splendidly stylish. Out of control, sometimes it would seem. Or am I wrong? Any destruction and damage caused as the judges take their notes, because this could well go to a judge's decision. Oh, I think they've been brilliant, Mute. Real breath of fresh air for Robot Wars. The time is ticking away to a judge's decision.
Cease.
Well, I hope they go for Mute, with all due respect to Judge Shred 3, because I think they've been splendid fun. They look worried. The judges look pensive. Let's see what they're considering. Marking on style, control, damage and aggression. Well, Judge Shred the more aggressive. And again. Mute the more stylish, you might say. Certainly the more theatrical. Look at all that. How can you judge that? The judges' hopes could be shredded, you know. The crowd want Mute to go through. They loved it. Then at the end, Mute aggressive. They could have won it with that onslaught. Well, there again.
Well, it would
judges have made the decision. It's taken some time, as I'm sure you'll appreciate. It's not easy to make the decision based on style, control, damage, aggression. You know the criteria. Not sure if I agree with it, but then again, I'm not a judge. You three are. They've gone for mute! Okay. How do you feel? You didn't get the verdict, Judge.
I thought we got more flips in. But...
You did get more flips in? Both of you are sort of in the same state at the end?
Yeah.
But they went for mute?
Oh, well.
You were kind of limping towards the end, a bit worse than mute were, I thought.
Yeah, it was a long fight, though.
It was a long fight. Both of you almost out of power.
Yeah.
What a fantastic fight, though.
It was a good fight. We enjoyed it.
More flips for your pound there.
Definitely.
How do you feel about the decision? Disappointed?
Disappointed, yeah, but what can you do? We'll come back next year and try again.
Might even be seeded, mightn't you?
One would hope so.
All right, guys, don't be too disappointed.
No, okay.
A fantastic show,
Excellent.
let me say. Let's hear it for Judge Shred. Flipper frenzy, you're not wrong.
Battery flatteners as well.
Battery flatteners as well. However, I think you were lucky to get that decision.
That look always pays off.
That look always pays off, does it?
We've seemed to be getting through today with a lot of luck, so that's good. A lot of testing we've done as well, and it's paid off.
But you're self-writer. It self-writes too much. It's extremely self-righteous. It flips it too much. That's why you've got two flippers.
So if it gets stuck, we can open the other one and let it off again.
You waste a lot of gas doing it, though. Wouldn't you be better to turn that down a little bit?
Full bore. Full bore all the way.
You can't sort of make the bottom, the back flipper, the one with the power, and that one less powerful.
Same system.
It's all on the same system?
Yeah, all the way through.
Do you think you can go all the way?
Possibly, yeah. If we can get it right again. So more luck.
More luck.
Yeah.
Well, you need a little bit of luck to go far in a competition like this, you know. You've had your share. Let's hope you get some more.
Cheers.
Go ballistic for mute! Well, it's one robot you won't find in the stores, but it's done itself proud on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
Next time on Robot Wars, Panic Attack and Megamorg, those two old Welsh wizards return. Just who will get into a flap? And who will rule the roost?
It's Pointless next on Challenge, and the celebrities are making fools of... giving it a go. Next on Pick, Colonel O'Neill comes out of retirement for Stargate SG-1.